I made $7,677 this morning trading. Welcome to a day in my life. Today we're going to go grab some lunch. I'm gonna give you guys a trade recap. We're gonna go on the jet ski. We're gonna do a little shopping. We're gonna drive around. So I'll see you guys there.
Good news coming in on a day-to-day. Already know what's happening now.
Alrighty guys, so right now we are headed to go grab some lunch at Pure Vita. What I like to do is I like to trade in the morning, and I don't really eat that much until I'm done trading. The reason I like to do that is because I want my mind to be super clear when I'm trading. So really what I do is I just have like a little protein bar, and then I'll have a little coffee, and that's pretty much it. My trading strategy is really unique because I only trade from about 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So once it hits 11 a.m., I am completely done trading. I do this for two reasons. The first reason is mental clarity, right? I don't want to be decision fatigued. When I'm trading for, 3-4 hours a day, I'm decision fatigued. The second reason is because I like trading the same exact setups every single morning. So me knowing that the setup is going to happen between 9 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time gives me a really good chance of just finding that same setup every day. I absolutely love this car, guys. A lot of people ask me, they're like, what's the difference between this and an RSQ8? In terms of performance, not much. I'll give you that, right? But in terms of aura, fucking everything. This thing is just so much cooler than an Audi RSQ8. And if you disagree with me, you're pretty much just telling me that you can't afford a Lamborghini and you're mad about that. So that's the truth. I mean, like, this thing genuinely is a really great car. We have a beautiful interior. We have like the Lambo tune, so it sounds cool. And it genuinely is just awesome. It's a really cool car. I mean, I put this thing in a off-road mode the other day. I was doing a little off-roading, fucked up my tires a little bit, but it was fun. One thing that I fucking hate is traffic. And the reason I hate traffic so much is because it's all due to slow people. Traffic is the fault of people in front of you, right? Traffic is not just like some random thing that happens. The reason you get traffic is because people are on their fucking TikToks watching like dancing videos and doing all this shit, not looking at the lights. If you text and drive, I am genuinely like never going to be a friend. I have zero respect for people who text and drive. I actually have a lot of really sad things that have happened to me and people I love with cars, so I take that shit really seriously. Texting and driving is just a sign of stupidity. I mean, if you can't wait until you arrive somewhere to send your message, what are you doing, right? It's like, unless the message is life or death, which it's definitely not. It's definitely not. It's probably your boys asking you if you want to go to the bar, right? You should be fucking waiting until you arrive somewhere so you can sit down and text somebody. I got pulled over last night, guys. You might have saw it on my TikTok. The reason I got pulled over is because I was going a little bit too fast, but I wasn't going that fast. I was going like slightly over. I'm not going to say the exact number just because there might be some lawyer stuff that I can't talk about. But the cop was super nice. I treated him with respect. He pulled me over. He said, you know why I pulled you over? I said, yeah, man, I was going a little too fast. Handed him my license, my registration. I've only got pulled over one other time in this car. So he was super cool. And that's just like something that you guys always got to do. If you drive a car like this, if you drive any car and you get pulled over, you should always treat the cops with respect. Always. Unless the cop is just being a dickhead to you for no reason, you should always treat them with respect. One thing that I fucking hate about owning a Lamborghini is you never really get to like push it to the limit, because right now I'm in a, 40 mile per hour zone. This thing can go 200 miles per hour. Where the fuck am I gonna go 200 miles per hour unless I go to a track, right? So that's why like I get pulled over sometimes, is because I'm just trying to push the limits a little bit. I mean, you can't blame me. I have a fucking Lamborghini, right? Like if you guys had a Lamborghini, I guarantee you'd get some tickets. One thing that I love about my current trading strategy is how much freedom I have. When I first started trading, and even after I made a shit ton of money, I did not have freedom. I remember when I first made money trading crypto and then switched over to trading futures, I didn't really have a strategy in place yet. So I would literally just sit in front of the charts all day, watching the charts move up and down. And I would be so bad at trading, because it wasn't even that I was bad at trading. I would just be so stupid because I'd be trying to trade for fucking 8 hours a day. And by hour 6, I'd be making the worst possible decisions. And then I just keep losing money. So that's when I decided to fucking sit down and have a strategy that only requires a little bit of my time, so that I can do the same exact thing every day, so that I actually have a routine in place. My current routine is super simple. I wake up at about 7 a.m. I do a little journaling. I just talk about what I'm grateful for. I talk about some things that I want to get done for the day. I do a little bit of meditation, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, sometimes I miss my meditations. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'll miss it, but I try to do a little meditation, and then I just have some caffeine, and then I start trading. I don't do any, watermelons on the face. I don't do anything crazy. I like to keep it pretty chill. You guys probably heard that fucking guy honk. I don't know if that was me or what the fuck that was, but that was quite loud. You guys see that undercover cop? It's looking like an undercover cop. I think he's trying to get me. Oh, that's definitely an undercover. You can tell because he's all tinted. Oh yeah. Not getting me. Not today, baby boy. Not today. People think that I get pulled over a ton in this car, and I honestly don't get pulled over that much. And I'm a pretty good driver. I don't drive like an idiot, and you can't drive like an idiot, guys, because your life is so valuable, and like, you'll never see me just absolutely crashing out with my driving, because it takes one mistake, it takes one stupid move for me to end up in jail, for somebody else to end up hurt, for me to end up hurt. So I would never risk my life. I'd never risk, you know, what I've built so far just so I can have some fucking little, you know, cut up or whatever. Some of you guys might know who Squeeze Benz is. I had to stop watching Squeeze Benz. If you don't know who Squeeze Benz is, he's basically a YouTuber, and he drives like crazy. He drives like, you know, he's in a fucking F1 racetrack, and I had to stop watching him because he drives a Urus. So when I watched him, he was a very bad influence on me. He had me thinking I was supposed to be doing things that I probably shouldn't be doing. So now I don't watch Squeeze Benz, and my driving has improved a lot, and I've spent a lot less money on lawyers and tickets. When you guys buy your first Lamborghini, here is exactly what mode you need to keep it in. So we have 5 modes, but only 3 of them matter. So Strada is normal mode. I never have it in Strada, ever. The only time I'll have it in Strada is if I'm like parked. That's really it, just because it burns less gas. Sport mode is like, this is a really good mode. Sport mode's like in between street mode and then this next mode. This is Corsa mode. This is race mode. You guys have to keep it in Corsa mode because it opens up the exhaust valves and it makes it do this. Hear that? That is what the fucking Lamborghini is meant for. Woo! That fucking downshift. Like, how could you not have it in that mode, guys? How could you buy one of these things and have it in street mode? Nah. Keep that shit in race mode. I haven't talked about it much. So I bought another Lamborghini, guys. I have this Lamborghini and I have another Lamborghini, but the kicker is the other Lamborghini is currently getting built. I bought it brand fucking new, and they told me that it would be here in June, and it's currently July 20 something, and they have not texted me shit. So my question is, why am I spending 300 or like 400 grand on a car, and they're treating it like it's a fucking Amazon package? They're like, yeah, it's still getting built, you know, we'll give you some updates. I don't want updates. I want to know where the fuck my car is and when I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't I'm not ordering socks from Amazon, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do with that. There's a chance that I cancel the order just because I'm not loving, you know, how they're treating me, and I don't even really want the car as much anymore, but we'll see. I do plan on keeping this car for a while. I absolutely love this Urus, but the next car that I buy is gonna be either a Ferrari or a McLaren or potentially an Aventador. I want something super, super fast, just like your classic, you know, 2-door, doors go up sports car. I'm gonna have that, and then I'm likely gonna have like a souped up truck, like a Ram TRX or something like that, so I can go fishing, and then when I wanna go fast, I can go super fast. This is kind of like a hybrid between, you know, the truck and the supercar, but I'll see, but I probably will get the SF90. If I get a Ferrari, it's definitely gonna be the SF90, maybe a Pista. Those are the only 2 Ferraris I'd consider getting, but let me know what you guys think. Florida just made a new law, and this is the stupidest law ever, where if you go over 100 miles per hour, you go to jail. What the fuck is that, guys? Come on, Florida. I worked my whole damn life to buy this Lamborghini, and you're telling me if I go 100 miles per hour on the fucking highway, where we all know everybody's going 100 miles per hour, you're gonna put me in jail? Really? That orange Urus right there, guys, is actually a professional tennis player. His name is Marcelo Rios. I've met him a few times. He lives in Sarasota. I don't know if he wants people saying that he lives in Sarasota, so hopefully, you know, he doesn't give a fuck. But I mean, he drives an orange Urus. He can't care that much. You know, the guy can't be trying to be Batman if you're driving a fucking green or orange Lambo. But pretty cool. I thought that I would show you guys that real quick. This is the only bad part about living in Florida, guys. The bipolar weather. Literally 2 minutes ago, you saw it was extremely clear, not a cloud in the sky, or maybe a few clouds, and now pouring rain. I mean, this happens not every day, but in the summertime, it happens pretty frequently. So if you're gonna move to Florida, just know you might get a little bit wet, but I don't care. I mean, for me, with this beautiful weather and this beautiful water, if all I have to deal with is a little bit of rain, not a problem. We got to Pura Vida. We are having one of my favorite breakfasts on this earth, guys. This is the beautiful croissant and egg sandwich, but I added some avocado, and we got the spicy alloy, however you say it, right there. This is gonna be really good. So I'm gonna talk to y'all when I'm done eating this, then we're gonna do a little trade recap. All right, guys, trade recap on the trade that I took today. So I actually took 2 trades today, and in full transparency, I did have 1 loss today, but the good news is my loss was only around $1,300 and my win was around $9,000. So I finished the day for a total profit of $7,677. This is what trading's about, guys. It's not about winning every single day. It's not about being perfect. It's about having big wins and small losses. It's a very simple math equation. I barely passed math in high school, guys. So if I can do this, then you can. If your wins are consistently bigger than your losses, like for example, if you're consistently winning $5,000 or $500 and your losses are always $100 or $1,000, you are going to make money over time, right? That's what risk to reward means. It means that you're risking a little bit of money to make a lot of money back. So the reason that I took this first trade was because I was trying to get in on the break and retest a little bit early. In retrospect, I should have waited for a little bit more confirmation, but I saw this move down happen really fast, and I was trying to get in on this little reverse pullback right there, got stopped out for about 3.5 points, and then I saw that price was actually reversing where I wanted it to reverse, so I entered again. I had my stop pretty much the same amount, 3.5 points or 3 points right there. Took this trade, got out for a really nice profit, and I just want to stress the importance of sticking to your rules, guys. My rule is that if I lose over $2,500 a day, I am completely done trading. So today, I did not lose $2,500. I lost $1,300. I was not done trading. I'm glad I stayed in the market. If I got out of the market, I would have completely missed this trade. So it's really important to have a plan in place that allows you to capitalize on all of the profits. This setup is one of my favorite trading setups, guys. This is the break and retest trading setup. So in this particular instance, we were trading the break and retest to the downside. All I was looking for was, the first thing is this New York Open right here. We marked this out on the 15-minute time frame. It's the first candle at 8 a.m. right there. So we marked that open out. Once we have that, we go on the 1-minute time frame, and then we look for a break. The break happens to the downside, so we expect price to retest and then continue moving in the direction that it broke out to. So broke out to the downside, got the retest. First retest, I got stopped out. Second retest, or later in the retest, I just waited for a little bit more confirmation, rode that down, and made some money. My trading plan is very simple, guys. I trade from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I target a 1-to-3 risk-to-reward ratio trade. The main setups that I like to look for are rejections off of previous highs, bounces off of lows, and break and retests of the New York Open, which is what you just saw today. One thing that you guys need to make sure of is that you have an element of consistency in your trading. For me personally, I like to have consistency with my time, and I recommend that you do the same. Every single morning, I'm trading from 9 to 11 a.m. So what does this do? This allows me to start noticing patterns. This allows me to become very familiar with what happens in the market during these hours. If I was trading at a different time every single day, I wouldn't be able to find this consistency. When I pull up my monthly profit and loss chart, I can see that I make pretty much all of my money between the hours of 9:30 and 10:30. So knowing that, why would I try to trade at 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. and 3 a.m.? When I was young and when I was still getting into trading, I would literally just sit behind the computer all day long because I thought that's how I made the most money. But in reality, that just caused me to get a shit ton of decision fatigue. I know that you guys see my profits right now and you're like, holy shit, he made $7,500 in a day. Yes, I did, or $7,600. But you guys got to remember, 3-4 years ago, I was making $750 a day. I was making $200 a day, $300 a day. So this scales up over time. The reason I'm able to make a lot of money now is because my skill has gotten better and my capital has grown. When you're starting out, you're not going to make $10,000 in a day, guys. You're just not. If I was working a job, here's exactly what I would do to go from $0 to $10,000 a month trading as fast as possible. The first thing I would do is I would become super clear on what my goal is. Your goal is to get one payout, not to make $5 million. Your goal is to get one payout. Once you get a payout from a funded account, you're not going to go buy diamonds. You're not going to go buy a Rolex. You are going to buy more funded accounts. You're going to buy, 3 or 4 $100,000 funded accounts. What this will do is this will allow you to copy trade, meaning you can actually combine your profit. So next time you get a payout, it's not going to be $2,000. It's going to be $8,000. And then you have this $8,000. You can set some of that aside and then use more of that money to continue buying funded accounts. And you see where I'm going with this. Continue scaling up and continue just making consistent profits, and don't buy stupid shit until your living expenses are taken care of. You guys should not be buying anything that has, designer logos or jewelry until every single thing in your living expense is taken care of. I remember my first ever trade, guys. It was a trade. It was actually an options call on this company called Sava. The ticker is SAVA, Cassava Sciences, I believe it's called. And my reasoning for entering this position was I thought it was going to go up. That was it. I was like, okay, I think this is going to go up. I'm going to enter. And it ended up going up, and I was up around $1,200. So I walked into my parents' bedroom. I was still living with my parents at the time. I was super young. And I said, hey, Mom, I'm up $1,200. And then my dad is like, yeah, that's cool, but you haven't sold it yet. So you're not actually up anything. You haven't made anything. And I was like, oh, no, it's going to keep going up. My dad was fucking right. Position ended up reversing, and I ended up losing about $1,000. So that taught me to take your profits. And it also taught me that you have to focus on the process, not the fucking money. Alrighty, I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to put my jet ski in the water. All I gotta do is call the marina, and hopefully they answer pretty quickly. And then I just ask them, I say, hey, can I get my jet ski in the water? And they put the jet ski. Hey, how's it going? Can I please get my jet ski in the water? This is Reese Phillips.
Yeah, of course, Reese. We'll have it ready for you.
Wonderful, thank you, brother. See you soon.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Bye. That's that easy. I'll see you guys on the jet ski. Alrighty, guys, it's been about, 25 minutes. I'm now pulling up to the marina. If you look over there, you'll see there's like a little above ground marina thing where I keep my jet ski. It's super nice. I'm gonna see if I can see my jet ski from here. Oh, I think they're just now putting it in the water. I can't quite see it. It's probably behind one of the other boats. But see you guys when I'm on the water. All right, guys, so this is gonna make me emotional. Just because every fucking time I do this, I get emotional. But 5 years ago, I was working at that restaurant, literally right behind me, that Daiquiri Deck restaurant. And now I am driving my Lamborghini Urus to go on my supercharged jet ski at 2:44 p.m. on a fucking Tuesday. If that doesn't motivate you guys, then I don't know what the fuck does. And it's not about the it's not about the Lambo, it's not about the stuff, it's about the fucking freedom. It's about the fact that I can do whatever the fuck I want, when I want. And it's also about the fact that I told myself this is the exact fucking life that I would live, and now I'm fucking living it. So go chase your dreams. Somebody commented on one of my videos, they're like, bro, why'd you spill paint on your shirt? You're wearing a dirty shirt. And I'm like, dude, this shirt costs like $2,000. I don't know exactly how much this shirt costs, but this is a Gallery Department shirt, not cheap. And I love this brand because it's a combination of art and super nice streetwear. So for me, I love this. I don't need to look like I'm a fucking billionaire in a tuxedo, guys. I like just wearing shit that's comfortable and shit that expresses the way I feel. And right now I feel kind of colorful, not in like a sus way, but I just feel happy, you know? All right, y'all, so this is the jet ski. I have a Sea-Doo RX-TX 300 horsepower supercharged 2023. I am looking at a 2025 though. 2025 is blue and it has 25 more horsepower and it has a touchscreen and it costs like $10,000 more. So I'll probably buy it. Alrighty, y'all, I'm on the jet ski. You literally saw it. 30 minutes ago, I called them up. I said, hey, can I get on the jet ski? Look where we're at. All right, guys, we are on the jet ski. This is one of my favorite places to go. This is an inlet, right? So right here we have the bay. This is all the bay. And then out there, we have the Gulf of America or the Gulf of Mexico, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of fish here, but I just like coming here because you can only access this beach by boat unless you want to walk like a ton. And nobody's going to get on the beach and walk 5 miles. So you can see like right now, there's only 4 other boats here. It's a Tuesday at like 3 p.m., so it's pretty peaceful. Most people start making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, and they go buy like a BMW or something. I highly recommend that you guys spend your money. If you have like 20 to 30 grand, spend that shit on a jet ski. If you live in Florida, this is a much better use of money than a car, in my opinion. I have a Lamborghini, and I genuinely have more fun on this thing than I do on my Lambo. When I bought this watch, I asked them, I was like, hey, can I go on my jet ski with it? And they said, absolutely not. It's not that great to have it next to salt water. So, you know, we had to bring it out here, get a little dip in. But here's the thing, guys. It's just fucking, they're just material items. I never like to obsess too much over this shit. So I'll get home, I'll watch this thing. Maybe it rusts, maybe it doesn't, but it's just a fucking watch at the end of the day. What really matters is freedom, being able to do what you like with your life. If you are a young dude and you want to get some pretty girls, here's what you have to do. And this is really simple. You have to make enough money so that you can buy a jet ski. It doesn't need to be a crazy jet ski. Mine costed 22 grand. Yours can cost 5. All that it has to do is fucking work. Once you have your jet ski, instead of hitting girls up and saying, hey, do you want to go to dinner? No. They don't want to go to dinner with you, bro. They just don't. They want to have fun. So you're going to text them and you're going to say, hey, we're going on the jet ski. Here's the time, here's the place, and I promise you, your results are going to be much better. The current is absolutely ripping. We have an outgoing tide, meaning the water is coming out of the bay into the Gulf of Mexico, and it almost looks like we're in the rapids right now. I mean, this water is really, really moving, and you can see how skinny that little inlet is. All this water just gets flushed out through here, so you have to be very careful right here, because if you get stuck or if something happens, you can end up in a pretty sketchy situation. So we're going to reverse right here and head back into some safer water. All right, everybody, this is one of my favorite spots to pull up. This is a date spot for me. I like to come here, bring a little towel, do a little picnic, and then, you know, just watch the birds, watch the water. This is what life is about. I feel like I'm in a video game right now. I'm literally just riding around on my jet ski, finding nice little areas in the mangroves, finding cool spots. And this is actually a really cool spot because if you see this little pathway right here, if you follow me, we'll actually go out and we'll go to the beach. So it's a really cool spot. This is the nice thing about having a jet ski, guys. When I'm on the beach, I see so many people. I see Timmy and Billy and people building sandcastles. Right here, it's just fucking nature because literally nobody can access this. You can't get here unless you have a jet ski. It's so damn shallow. So you get all these little, you know, secret hidden coves, which I love.
We get fuck y'all money. How you want play? That AK sleep on the side of my bed. That's one eye closed, one eye open. Your cap get peeled like ibuprofen.
Something I want to talk to you guys about is my mental health. There's a lot of shit that I've went through in my life. We've all went through shit. And I just want to tell you guys how I deal with stress, how I deal with sadness, how I deal with bad shit that happens to me. The one thing I do is I work a lot, right? I work a lot. I probably take some of my stress out with the way I work. I just work a good bit. But the other thing I do, and what really, really calms me, is nature. When I'm in nature, there is something that is just so peaceful knowing that I'm looking right there, I'm seeing some little fish, I see a little bird. It just feels like I'm part of something much bigger, because we are, right? We are part of something much bigger. And when you come out in nature, you just get reminded of that. So that's why I spend so much time in nature. There was a time where my mental health was absolute shit, and it was when I was in college. Reason being is I would wake up, I would trade, and then I would go to fucking class. So I would have no sleep, and all I was doing was just spending so much time on these damn computers. I was making a lot of money. Like, I was a millionaire at this time, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled because I spent all my fucking time on the computer. So recently, I have a really nice balance between working a lot, getting everything I need to get done, and then coming out and being able to do this. And guys, what is the point of me working so hard if I can't at least enjoy life? Like, what's the point? There's no point to work hard if you can't enjoy life. I do plan on getting a boat pretty soon. I love this jet ski, but the reason I want a boat is because I've been fishing a lot more, and when I have a boat, I can take multiple people on it. So I want to have my brother on there, maybe my girl, maybe my other friends. Like, I just want multiple people on the boat, and this jet ski can fit 3 people, but like, let's be real, guys. You don't want to be like fucking squeezing in with 3 people on that, and you can't go as fast. So when I have a boat, I can pull up to the sandbar, everybody can have some room. I'm probably gonna get like a 25-foot boat, and then a few years down the line, I'll get like a big mega boat. All right, guys, sport mode, 0 to 60, let's go. What are they doing? Guys, there's a boat that's trying to go back in between there. There's literally a boat trying to go in between that. That is a horrible idea. They're gonna get stuck. I have no idea what they're doing. I'm not saving them though, because that's their decision. And that water is shallow enough that they won't drown, so we can keep going. That's what we do. Just got off the jet ski. Now I'm headed to go grab some food. I usually get pretty like, I don't know how to explain it, but I get a little like lightheaded after the jet ski in a good way, just because you're out there and it's so hot and you're going so fast. So I'm gonna grab some food, some water, and just kind of refresh myself a little bit. One thing that I do to clear my mind, and yes, this is more fun because I'm in a Lamborghini, I'll admit, is going on nice little drives. Like when I go on a drive, I never look at my phone. I am just focused 100% on the road, and I'm listening to my music, and there's something very calm about that. So I'll take you guys along for a little bit of this little drive that I'm gonna do right now. People love videoing it, man. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of an aura boost because right now I'm just sitting at the light and this guy's videoing me. He's like got it still going. I don't know if he knows who I am or something, or he just loves the car, but he's still going. That's so funny. But yeah, guys, I love driving this way because there's 2 very important places on this route. There's one, the first job that I ever worked, and the last job that I ever worked, which is fun to say, and my middle school. So we're gonna drive by my middle school, and I'm just gonna tell you guys a little bit about, you know, where it all started and my come-up story. Alrighty, guys, so right now we're driving by Siesta Key Beach, which is like the most popular beach in the world, and I don't really like Siesta Key Beach because one thing that is so nice about having money is you can go to private beaches. Let me show you guys how private beaches work. So a private beach, you pull in and nobody's on the fucking beach except for like 3 or 4 people. So you don't got people building sandcastles, you don't got fucking people throwing balls at you. You can just go and relax, and you can valet your car. You don't have to deal with the parking. When you go to Siesta Key Beach, yeah, okay, the sand's nice, but you have to spend fucking 2 hours parking and somebody's running you over in the parking lot. It's not that fun. So private beaches are a great use of money. This pisses me off so fucking much, guys, because you can tell a lot about somebody from how they drive. If you drive super slow, you do not care about life and you are lazy. I hate to say that, but it's true, because if you have somewhere to be, you're at least gonna be going the speed limit. I'm not saying speed, I'm actually saying just go the speed limit. This guy's going way under the speed limit. That's me honking, and I'm proud of it. I got no fucking shame for this fucker, because he needs to move up, and it worked, right? So sometimes, guys, you gotta assert your dominance on the road. Yeah, it worked. We're good. We're good now. Just gotta fucking give him a little bump. Life, I love driving through here, man. Drive slow, homie. Alrighty, guys. It's so funny, Kanye's got this song. It's called Drive Slow. It's like, drive slow, homie. And the whole purpose is that when you're in a nice whip, you gotta drive slow, right? You gotta drive slow, because you got nothing to hide, let's be honest. I don't really mind that people are stopping and taking a little glance at the whip. I don't mind. So you gotta drive slow, homie. Drive slow, homie. I think the song goes, drive slow, homie. Might be some hoes, homie. Now we are going to go drive by my middle school and part of my high school real quick, and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my story and how I started trading, what my childhood looked like, some of my struggles, and see you guys there. We are right next to my elementary school, my middle school, and what was my high school for a little bit, and then they changed campuses, but I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how my childhood went. I see a lot of people making up their origin stories and saying like, oh, I came from the trenches. I didn't come from the trenches. I did not come from a rich family. I did come from a really bottom of the scale family compared to the other families that I was at school with, but I am more than grateful that I never had to worry about where the next meal was gonna come from. With that being said, that should not take away from the work that I or anybody else who came from a decent family had to do. I still had to put in a ton of work to get myself from being a middle-class kid to being a multimillionaire in my early 20s. Just because someone didn't come from the fucking hood doesn't mean that they didn't work hard, right? So we have to start telling the truth about where we came from. Both of my parents went to very good schools, so they were always super, super concerned with me going to a good school and getting really good grades. That's pretty much their only thing that they wanted me to do when I was young. I'm sure you guys know by now, if you're listening to my content, you can probably see that I'm not a huge fan of school. So this was a constant conflict for me and my parents, and it wasn't like a little argument. This was a really, really big source of conflict in the house. My dad's side of the family is Caribbean. If you're Caribbean, you know that Caribbeans do not play about college, and my mom's side of the family is from up north, and they also don't play about college. So I had constant pressure to go to a really good school. Something that made me sad when I was growing up was that my parents wanted me to go to college and get a job and do all this shit, and I wanted a completely different life. I did not want to go to college. I did not want to work a job, and this was always a little, tense between me and my parents. It wasn't a little tense, it was a lot tense, to tell the truth, because they were just so dead set on me going to college, and I was so dead set on me not going to college. A lot of you all are in the same position right now. You don't want to go to school, you don't want to work a job, but you're trying to convince your parents this, and they don't believe you. The reason they don't believe you is because you haven't shown them any proof yet, guys. When they walk into your room, they might see you scrolling TikTok, they might see you playing Xbox, so when you tell them, hey mom, I want to be a multimillionaire by the time I'm 25, of course they're going to look at you like you're crazy. You guys have to understand, in the beginning phases, the only person who will see the vision is you. Not your fucking mom, not your dad, probably not even your girlfriend. You, and if you're lucky, maybe you have a brother or maybe you have a friend who sees the vision. But you have to keep this vision alive, because as long as you can keep this vision alive, you can achieve it. You don't fucking need everybody to see your vision, guys. When I was coming up, only one person saw my vision, and that was my brother, right? My brother and then another close friend. Nobody else believed in me. Nobody fucking believed in me. And now I have enough proof to where they're like, oh shit, I should have believed in this Reese kid. But by that time, it's already too late, and I'm already, going on and doing big things. So it's not that like I don't talk to those people anymore. It's just that I've kind of elevated on a different level. There's a lot of kids I went to school with that didn't believe in me. And this wasn't because they were mean, they just didn't believe in me. And you guys have to understand, what you are trying to do is not normal. You might be trying to become rich, you might be trying to, start trading. That is not normal for the average American. The average American works a 9-to-5 job and they don't like their life. So when you are different and when people are doubting you, that's actually a sign that you're on the right path. One of the things that made me very depressed as a kid was when I would try to fit in. I am not like other people. And I didn't realize this until I was, probably 16 or 17. But when I was younger, I would always try to go to the parties. I would always try to talk to girls I didn't even like just because I wanted to be cool. And this didn't fucking work for me, guys. You have to be authentic to yourself. If you know that you want to go on a certain path, stick to that shit. Don't try to do what everybody else is doing. I discovered trading while I was in high school. So at this time, I was working my 9-to-5 job. I was still living with my parents, and I was learning how to trade. When I was living with my parents, obviously I didn't have to stress about food or worry too much about anything. But when I actually had to go to college and live by myself, this is when I started entering a very dark period mentally. I had already made some money from crypto while I was in high school. I was trading crypto when I was super, super young. While I was in college, I had some money saved up because I already made some money from crypto, but I was not making money consistently by any means. I hit it big on a few coins and I just had some money sitting there, but I needed to make money consistently. When I was at college, I had a really important realization when I was on the phone with my parents one time. I realized that as much as my parents love me, they're not coming to fucking save me. Nobody's coming to save me. The only person that can save me is me. And that's actually a really refreshing realization, guys, because imagine if you had to put your whole life in somebody else saving you. They might fucking die. Something might happen to them and they might not like you. They might change their feelings, whatever. So understanding that you're the only person that can save yourself is actually really good feeling. I've never talked about this, but when I was in college, my roommate had a girlfriend and he was awesome, right? I fucking love him, but you guys know what happens in college when you're with girls. So there were some nights where I didn't want to sleep in my dorm next to my roommate, so I would go ahead and I'd put the fucking, seat all the way back on my little sedan that I was driving and I'd sleep in my fucking car. There were also times where I couldn't sleep at all and I would just wake up at 3 a.m. and start running. The reason I would do shit like this, guys, is because I wanted to force myself to just get the fuck out of college. I wanted to put myself through stress. I wanted to put myself through hardship to show myself, one, that I can handle it, and two, that I can overcome it and become something great. That struggle and all the times that I was sitting on my fucking bed crying, like I was literally sitting there crying like a fucking girl. I was sitting there sobbing because, I didn't have enough money or somebody did this, whatever the fuck. I would just always be all messed up in my head. I would always be all depressed. But all that pain, I used that as fuel. I said, okay, I am fucking feeling so bad right now. So if I don't make something out of my life, then this is all for nothing. And guess what? I made something out of my life, so it wasn't for nothing. So if you're watching this, know that that pain you're going through is not for nothing. And make sure that it's not for nothing. So go make something of your life. Initially, when I was learning how to trade futures in college, I lost a shit ton of money. That's just the truth. I was losing money. Once I stopped losing money consistently and I started to actually make some money, I knew that I could drop out of college once I started making a certain amount of money. The reason I knew this is because I did a very simple calculation. I looked at my bank account and I said, okay, how much money comes out of my bank account each month? And it wasn't that fucking much. I was a college kid. It was like $2,000. How much money am I making per month? At the time, it wasn't bad. I was making like 20, 30 grand a month while I was still in college before I scaled up my trading. So I was making good money. And then I remember one time, this is one of my favorite stories ever. This is one of the best feelings. I was sitting in math class and my math teacher looked at the back of the class. I would always sit in the back. And he's like, some people are on their phones. If they're on their phones, they shouldn't even be in class. class. So you know what I did? I fucking closed my computer and I got up and I walked right the fuck out because he was right. I should not have been in class. I called my mom right when I dropped out of college and I thought that she was gonna be super mad. I was like, hey mom, I'm dropping out. I'd actually already dropped out, but I told her that I was about to drop out and she wasn't mad at all because I didn't realize that she somehow had like a connected bank account to mine so she could see how much money I was making. And she's like, yeah, this kid's good. Recently, I went shopping with my mom and she would go into a store and I would literally just say, hey, here's my card, come out whenever, get whatever you want. So I hope that she forgives me for all the stress that I put her through. That should be a source of motivation for you guys. There's so many people that believe in you. If you can't find motivation in yourself, think about your brother, think about your mom, think about your girlfriend, think about everybody who would benefit from your success, and think about people who would suffer from your failure, from you not trying, from you giving up. So if you can't find internal motivation, use the people who love you because I promise you somebody loves you. And if nobody fucking loves you, I love you. So get going. Alrighty guys, it is hot as fuck out here. So I'm gonna go over to this little restaurant, probably grab a little smoothie or something. See y'all there. When I was broke, they was cool with it. Now every move I make, I'm in the news with it. Even if I ain't did it, they be like, you did it. My teacher always used to tell me, you gon' lose, nigga. That's why I never went to school, nigga. That's why I'm rapping like I got something to prove, nigga. I feel poor when I'm in traffic, guys. Like, I'm in a Lamborghini, I'm in a $300,000 car, but there's something about being in traffic that makes me feel poor. Like, do I need a helicopter? Do I need to just fucking elevate above everybody and just fucking get like one of those helicopters where you can kind of chill in the back, like watch a little movie? I don't know. I might have to because this is certainly not a high status maneuver. I mean, waiting in traffic, this is awful. The most annoying thing with traffic, guys, and I might be wrong a little bit on this, but it's almost always very preventable. When I look at what's causing traffic, it's usually like people sitting and like looking at a fucking bird on the side of the road or like something that's very avoidable. You know what I mean? So in other words, if I was controlling all the cars, there would be no traffic. I actually might be buying a car very soon. I'm not selling the Urus, I'm just getting a little other thing. What I'm thinking of is getting like a Maybach or maybe a Cullinan because I'm gonna get a second place in Miami. If you guys don't know, I live on the other side of Florida right now. So I have to go across the state to get to Miami. So what I might do is I might buy a Maybach and then hire a driver. So I have like a little limo to get me from where I am now to Miami. Because I took a limo to Miami the other day and that shit was so nice, guys. I was just sitting in the back of the fucking limo. I was trading, I was sitting there, I was having a little champagne. Like it was nice as fuck. So that'll most likely be my next vehicle purchase. It's gonna be a Maybach, probably like a 2022, 2023. I wanna get black with either white interior or black interior. I think the black with the black interior could be kind of sick, like a nice little James Bond vibe. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of crashed out the other day. So long story short, I was with my mom and I was with my brother and we're sitting there and we're eating fucking gelato. Like we're right over here and these kids roll by. I don't know how old they are. They're like, I don't know, like fucking 13 or 14. And they literally looked at me and my brother and said, hey, can we take your mom on a ride on our bike? And I was like, what? Like I started cursing and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like I got all mad because I said it in like a very like, you know, like derogatory way, like kind of provocative way. So I think that you guys might see me end up on some prank channel because I mean, those kids had to be doing a prank. I didn't realize it though, because I'm protective of my mom. Like obviously, if somebody said that to your guys' mom, I hope that you guys would have the same response. But yeah, if you guys see me like crashing out on some kid, it's because they asked to take my mom on a ride. So if they don't show that part, make sure that you guys get that in there. I was telling my girl the other day how some people think I'm like a basketball player or a rapper, and it was so funny. She's like, really? Do they really say that? And I was like, yeah. And then we fucking roll up to Chick-fil-A to grab a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, and the kid, the second I opened the window, he's like, are you a basketball player? And I was like, oh, that's so much aura right there. My girl started laughing so much. I was like, I told you. But yeah, I don't know. People just probably think I'm like, I don't really know what people think, honestly. What do you guys think I am? If you saw me, what would you think? Alrighty, guys, we just got to this Rooftop Restaurant. I'm having a little lemonade right here. There's something that I absolutely love about rooftops. I mean, behind me, you guys can see there's a really beautiful view. We got the whole water, we got the fucking beach, we can see all the boats going by. I don't really know what it is. I think I just like being kind of above everybody. Having that bird's eye view just kind of makes me feel small, makes me feel like I'm just, you know, part of this huge universe, and that's a nice reminder every now and then. A lot of you guys might watch this video and you might think that my life has always been like this. I promise you, my life was not always like this. This is what your life will look like once you start making some money and once you start finding consistency. But when you're in your grind phase, guys, it's not gonna be all shiny. There were years and years where I was just sitting in my dorm room, I was sitting in my fucking classroom, and I was just grinding. As long as you have a vision of what you want your life to be like, then you're in a good place, right? Because even if you're struggling right now, if you know in in your heart that eventually it's gonna look good, you'll be able to keep moving forward. That's pretty much what my average day looks like. I get my trading done in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I either go on the jet ski or I grab some lunch with the family. Sometimes I'll be doing a little bit more work, but usually I'm completely done working by around 1, 2 p.m., and then I like to go on the water. If you guys feel lonely right now, I just want you guys to remember that that is completely normal. I had years and years where I felt so fucking lonely, but the thing that I knew was that that's what it's supposed to feel like. It's supposed to feel like shit. If it felt good, everybody would do it, but everybody's not rich. That's why there's only a few people up here, guys. Like, that's the thing. It's very hard to do these things, so if you're doing it, you have to understand you're gonna be different than everybody else. There's gonna be a phase in your life where you've outgrown your current friends, right? So the people that you used to hang around, you've probably just outgrown them, but you don't have the results to have a new group of friends yet, so you're in this weird in-between phase where you're super lonely, and I promise you, every single person that's been successful has went through that phase. I've went through that phase, Drake's went through that phase, your favorite football players, basketball players, they've all went through that, but you have to get through it. It's part of the journey. A great trick to help you succeed a lot faster is instead of thinking, damn, this is so hard, why me? Think, damn, this is super hard. That means that nobody else is gonna do this, so I am one of the only people doing this, meaning I don't have any competition. It is me versus me. That's how you guys should be thinking. If it's hard, that means that nobody else is doing it, or very few people are doing it, so use that as motivation. Right now, it's about 6 p.m., so I'm gonna order some food, get some food, watch the sunset from this little rooftop place. After I'm done watching the sunset, I'm gonna go home, and then I'm honestly just gonna go to bed. It's been a pretty long day. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you guys wanna see more videos, and I'll see you all soon.